Dear friends, today we have a very special guest at Aquadec's interview. His name is Nicolas Wright, also known as Rico Nico, and he's one of the top breeders of freshwater shrimp in Europe. Nicolas participated in many international shrimp contests as a contestant, and he won second and third prize. Also, as a judge, invited for his experience in shrimp breeding in USA shrimp contest, in Madrid Spanish shrimp contest, also in Dortmund the German international shrimp contest. It is a pleasure for us and an honor to have him here today. Nicolas, welcome and nice to be here with you today. All the success stories have a beginning about which, generally speaking, everyone knows less. I would like to talk about the beginning of this passion of yours, freshwater shrimps. Okay. When did you take the first contact with this hobby, and why?
So I started to breed fish when I was 11. And so when I have to move from my parents' house in 2007, I couldn't take all of my tank with me because they were so big. And so I have a small apartment, and I said, what can I do to have tank, but what can I put inside? And so it's at this moment in 2008 that I discover the red cherry.
Yeah.
And so it
was the most popular shrimp ever,
exactly.
the red cherry.
So, and as we told before, when I saw the first time in 2009 red crystal, it was, oh my God, it's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah. And you get in contact with shrimps because of the space? Or,
exactly. But I told you, it's, for me, aquariums are an hobby since my 11. So I wanted to have something, and which kind of fish you can have in so small tanks. So it was not interesting. It's why I decided to start to breed shrimp.
Let few of the Romanian people, hobbyists, know that you won a lot of important prizes. Maybe you can tell them, I don't know, something about the contest you've been in, and what the prizes, the most important prizes for you.
I participate to different contests. I would say that for me, the most important prize is not the first place, but it was the second place in Hanover, in Germany in 2017. I would say it's my best place because of the concurrence, because it was a lot of good breeder. So I also made some first place, but it was not so the level.
The level, yeah.
The level was not so high. So I would say that in Hanover I was very proud, and I'm also on this contest made a third place with Fancy Tiger, and you know that Fancy Tiger,
yeah.
It's very difficult, and for example, a lot of Taiwanese are very good
and
quality.
And all the shrimps you've been in the contest were bred by you.
Exactly, from the beginning, yes.
Yeah, because I know it is a rule, but in the contest, all the breeders who participate in the contest should have their own breed.
Exactly.
But we'll get to that in a...
It's normally what we have to do. And yes, exactly, that you are the origin of the breeding, yes.
Okay. Currently, you are the owner of one of the largest freshwater shrimps farm in Europe, as far as I know, and maybe the biggest in France, your home country. We couldn't tell people. We didn't tell people that you are from France, but all of them, I think, they already know that. But before entering to details, people are very curious about this farm of yours. I would like to, from you, some figures, some numbers about Nico's shrimps. Maybe how many aquariums do you have in your farm right now? How many shrimps, if you can estimate that number, because I know it's difficult. You have a lot of tanks. And maybe how many species, varieties do you have?
So to start, I just breed and just keep Caridina shrimp.
Only Caridina?
Only. I don't keep Neo Caridina, for example. So to my house, I have 235 tanks.
Wow.
actually.
How many liters of water?
A lot. I think it is more than 15,000 liters.
Wow.
So to think of a number of shrimp, it's complicated. I would say that between 4 and 500,000 shrimp.
100,000.
Yeah, 100,000 shrimp. Yeah.
Wow. This is an impressive number.
Yes, it
Maybe
is.
you put them all together, we get some kilos.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
And you started the farm recently.
So when
So you have the old
yes, I
farm
have
and the
exactly.
new
So when I built my house in 2010, I put a room for the shrimp. So I had 45 tanks in this room, and in 2017 I built a new shrimp room with almost 200 tank inside. Yes, so it's a lot of water.
Yeah, a lot of water. You can say that again. How hard it is to keep running such a farm?
It's not for me. It's not hard.
Yeah, because you like what you do, but
Exactly. So for me, when it's time to water change, it's just a good moment. So I am not going in my room and say, "Oh shit, I need to change my water." It's a pleasure to do it. So for me, it's not a lot of work, because when I am with shrimp in front of my tanks, it's not work.
it's pleasure.
It's pleasure. So it's not a lot.
And how about the maintenance? Do you do it oftenly
Yes,
for
every
your
day.
tanks every day?
Every day I'm in my room, and so feeding them, catch them, selection them every day.
And if you make I don't know, a number of hours weekly, how many hours in a week you spend in your farm?
It's complicated to say, to be honest, because you have time to change the water, you have time to prepare the shipment, you have time to feed them, to select them. I don't know, to be honest. Maybe if I would say 4 hours per day.
4 hours per day.
Yeah.
And because you said you have 50,000 liters of water,
Yeah.
when you make a water change, you do it for all the tanks
Yes,
in one time?
Yes. So I have huge containers, and to change my water, I change it every 2 weeks, about 30%. So I need a little bit more than 3,000 liters of
3,000
osmosis
liters.
water. Yes.
Yeah. So how big are the tanks?
Most of them are about
The 192 you have right
yeah,
now in the
it's
new
exactly
farm?
the same. So in the 200, 192 tanks are 54 liters. Yes,
54 liters
Yeah.
each.
each.
Wow. And one 54-liter tank, it can keep how many shrimps, in your opinion?
Between maximum for me 400.
400
yeah.
shrimps in one tank.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a little about the food.
Okay.
You feed the shrimps all together
Exactly. Twice per day.
twice per day.
Twice per day,
Wow.
but in small quantity. Okay. And I only use a stick. I don't use powder. I know that other breeders use powder. I am not fan of that, so I just feed them with stick 2 times per
You
day.
made a calculation how much food in one day or in one week goes for the shrimps? Because I know the small are selling in small quantities, but I don't know, 35 grams.
But for me, 35 grams is for. I need 3 per day.
Whoa. So almost 105 grams in one day of food for all the shrimps.
Yeah, exactly.
In in some of the videos on YouTube, we can observe some special improvements of your farm. I mean, I saw a ventilator on the ceiling of the farm.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little about this?
So it's what I explained in the video of Chris Lukop. So my problem when I built the new shrimp room, it was the weight of all of the aquarium and the water. So I couldn't put an isolation on the ground, and so
You forgot to put isolation?
No, it's
or?
not. I forgot
Oh,
that people gave me advice. Architect
yeah,
gave me
the
advice, and
architect.
it say in this small part because it's 32 quadrat to put an isolation under it would be dangerous because of the weight. So I didn't do that, and the problem, the cold come from the ground, and so the ventilation is here to help the air to come.
The warm air to
Exactly.
go all around.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a big difference you had a big difference
Yes,
of the temperature.
I would have a big difference, but so with the ventilation, I just the tank of the top and the tank of the bottom just 2 degrees of difference.
Okay. I saw also in the movies some big storage tanks. You told me before that are for the osmosis water.
Yeah.
How do you prepare the water?
So like I told you, I just breed Caridina. So I use osmosis water and salt. And so
Can you tell us what kind of salt do you
yes,
use?
I use from Garnelen House, salty shrimp,
Salty shrimp?
GH plus. So for me, it's one of the best salt, and also Carson is one of my friends. So
Yeah, of course, we
yeah,
know that.
yeah. So I
You-
use only that, and so to prepare my water, when the water is ready, I put the salt. It's depend on which kind of Caridina. I will not use the same quantity if it's for tiger or it's for Taiwan, for example.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah.
How do you set up the parameters of the water according to the species in the aquarium? Because
Okay.
for tigers, I know there are other parameters.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
for
So I have in my new room. I have
two different tanks.
Yeah, exactly. So one for all of the tiger, and it's all of one rack, and the tiger are in the same rack, and the other in the other rack. So I prepare the salt and the water, so like this.
You use osmosis device, yeah. In how many days do you get the necessary quantity of water?
I bought an osmosis system. He's 1,000 liter per day.
Whoa!
Yeah. So in 3 days, it's okay.
And which is the pH of the water when it simply comes out of the device without mineral salts?
Yeah, without when you are just doing the the osmosis water. Sorry, it's almost 7. It's 6.7, 6.8. Okay, but if you are letting in the container, the pH go down. You know that.
You have plastic containers.
Exactly.
So this is why you have plastic containers, because I heard a lot of legends. Let's just say legends, that if you keep the water in a glass tank, it will keep the same pH. But if you put it in a plastic tank, the pH will change. So you are saying that the pH drops down when you keep it in
I didn't
in
know
plastic.
I never hear that.
No?
Never.
Yeah,
Seriously,
we
never.
hear that a lot.
I think because if you are logical, it's not because the plastic doesn't do something about the water and the glass also. So for me, it's just a legend. You have to know, and you probably know that. Why is the pH go down? It's because you don't have a pH.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just like that. So if you put in the water or in the glass, I am almost sure that it will not change.
How many days do you keep the water in the tanks until you change it?
So I need 3 days to prepare my water, and at the end of the third day, I will make my water change.
And you put the salts inside the tanks?
Yes, I put the salt inside the tank, and I have a pump.
Yeah, who mixes?
Yeah, exactly. And I wait 24 hours before to do my...
The temperature of the water inside the tanks is important when you do the mixing?
Not so much. No,
I mean,
I know the conductivity change a little bit about the temperature, but you know the conductivity, it's how we...
how we measure it.
Measure and how you put the quantity of soil. So if you have 20 or 10 microsiemens more or less, it's not a big deal, I think.
No, some of the hobbyists are saying that if you don't have a, let's say, 24-degree temperature of the water, the salt does not dissolve completely. So
It's
it
why
could
you
get false readings.
Yeah, it's maybe true, but I know exactly how much gram I need to put in my containers, and what you have to do is to wait a little bit that you do that, as you said, sorry. And so if you have a pump to help, and so
And
it's better.
you don't put a heater inside
No,
the tank.
absolutely not, because the warmth from the room help to. And if you have a small quantity, difference of temperature is not a big deal.
What is the I don't know, the degree between the
If you have
aquariums and the water in the tanks?
3-4 degrees, not a.
And this
Not-
is not a problem.
No, it's not a problem
30%
because-
quantity of water.
Yeah, 30%, and in the same time, you are not changing it very fast.
Yeah.
It's also something important when you are changing water for shrimp. It's not like fish, or where you who you can change directly and fast the water. I give the advice to people that change slowly the water. So if they have look in the nature, when it's raining, it's the same.
Yeah.
So if you have small difference of temperature, it's not a big deal.
So I wanted to ask you, you are using the same salts for the storage container for the tigers,
Yes.
and also for the
Exactly the same
rest of the
salt, yes.
Caradinas?
You can keep tiger shrimp in water with a pH, but it's not necessary. I think you can. No, it's not. I think. I am.
You know.
Yeah,
don't think
excuse
you
me.
know.
Yeah, it's because of an
You
English.
have a lot of experience,
Yes, but
so you
it's
cannot
English,
think
I am
about that.
French, and English is complicated. So I am keeping them in water with the same salt, but I put the conductivity and so the GH higher.
So if the pH is 0, you can keep tigers without any problems.
Exactly. I keep them of technical salt and with water without pH. Exactly.
So something you anticipated my next question.
Maybe.
Do you use technical soil? If yes, what type, brand?
Yes.
Grain size? I don't know. Quantity for each aquarium? Why not less? Why not more? Because we have to explain to people that.
Okay. I am using only. It's something I will try to say it in English. When you do something who works, you don't change.
Yeah.
So I am using since the beginning ADA salt, New Amazonia, and now New Amazonia, in every tank, for tiger, for red crystal, for Taiwan bees, for pinto, for everything.
And for also for tigers, you use
Also for-
technical soil.
Exactly.
Because I know many people who keep tigers in, I don't know, just sand.
It's possible. It's not tiger are not like.
They are not influenced about the pH. Yeah.
They are because it's not a question of pH. It's a question of pH. You can have them of pH 3, 4, and also of pH 0. But what is important is the pH. You don't have to have too lower pH for tiger. So 6.5 is perfect. You can have them at 7 with sand, but it's okay. They are.
So also a low pH for tigers, it's
not good.
It's not good.
No.
Okay. Do you have a special grain size of the technical soil, or ADA has just single?
Amazonia is the normal balls of 3 millimeters about.
What quantity do you use for your aquariums?
2 millimeters.
Meaning, I don't know, 100 grams, 200 grams in
I don't
each
know.
aquarium?
Just to explain, for example, to my new room for 192 tanks, I use 12 bag of 9 liters of
Whoa.
ADA. It's cheap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you go cheap.
Yes.
But do you change it often?
Every 2 years.
Every 3 years?
2
or 3 years?
It would be the same. I think if you are using water with a pH 0, so if you are using the osmosis water with the right salt, who has not increased the pH, your soil will not die, and in the same time, if you are not using a huge quantity, all of the shit will not stay in the soil, and so you will not have one day all the tank who will die.
All the time we see, I don't know, the guys from Taiwan who
It's
are using
yeah,
the
it's
big quantity of soil on their tanks. Why do you use so little soil?
It's a question of how I work, and probably it's my friend and I like him, Vinfish.
Yeah.
He's using so big quantity. So I think that every people have to do his own experience and to work. And when he see that it's work, to go in this way.
But if you have a big quantity of water, you said your aquariums have 54 liters.
It's not a lot. For example, I said that I know that Vin has very big aquariums. Okay, very, very big. I have small tanks. 54 liters is small. And every people know that what's not good for shrimp, it's nitrate. Okay,
Yeah.
when you have a so small quantity of soil, it's not a lot of shit and the rest of the food and everything. So it's not, for example, when I just use that, in the same time with the filter, some of the soil move, so I put my hand in the tank, I move everything.
So you mix it before water change, and you remove all the dirt inside.
Exactly.
Pull it out.
Yeah, but it's not a lot. Yes, but exactly that.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I know for sure the people will find this very, very interesting because you give us a lot of information. You agreed to give us a lot of information, and we want to make some, I don't know, education for the people who want to start this hobby.
It's a great idea, I think, that what you are doing, but it's very important that people try to do his own experience, because I can tell you that you will try it.
Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. But I can say exactly what I use, which salt, with salt, and it works. So
yeah, so you have a recipe, gives results, and
exactly.
That is a demonstration. Okay, it is necessary to have plants in shrimp aquarium?
Absolutely not.
So you have a few or not at all in your aquarium?
Sometimes I have just a small piece of Bucephalandra to say that it's something is green in the tank.
So it doesn't have a special utility?
No, absolutely
You just use it for design?
Yes, and my design is very bad, to be honest. But it's not necessary because they don't need that. It's true that in mosses you can have bacteria and blah, 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 but it's not necessary. You can breed them without plants. I have some tanks without, so and it works as good as other. So,
do you use leaves?
Yes,
in your aquariums?
Yes, sometimes catappa only.
Only catappa.
Only catappa, yes.
Other kind of leaves?
No, just it's easier for me, but it's not bad.
Just a question. Catappa, it's the Indian origin.
Yeah.
In their natural habitat, the shrimps have bamboo, for example.
Exactly. I think it's every leaves will be okay, almost every. So
it's for hiding the shrimp up underneath them. Or,
it's to help to kill bacteria and, for example, catappa, and also mushroom. So
it will modify some water parameters in
a little bit, but
a way.
A little bit. The pH will go a little bit down, but not so much. If you have a pH of 3 or 4, the pH will now go down with leaves.